guess I'm seeing comments here about Jeff Brom having poor time management, and there's also a comment I saw it about. Here Rob saying teams that don't even try to run will never have success, and that's a segue into what something that I noticed, probably you noticed, was Penn State early on and kind of throughout the game. They really tried to establish the run game, especially when with a pair of stud freshmen in Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, who I must say, when they were in the game, it felt like a breath of fresh air seeing them actually, hit the hole quickly, not dancing around too much. Unfortunately, Singleton did not break one for a huge gain or for a touchdown like I hoped he would, but I feel it's coming sooner rather than later. Probably the same can be said for Katron Allen. Ironically, it was Kevon Lee who, we can't say he's the greatest runner on the team. I mean, of course, he came up with probably the most clutch play of the night. So hats off to Kevon. But on the other hand, Purdue, they did run with King Daru at times, and probably overall they might have been just about as effective as Penn State, but they didn't quite commit to it as much as Penn State did. And I can remember actually late in the game when they have the ball back, Purdue's the ball, they're trying to pick up a couple first downs, maybe run out the clock for like final 4 minutes, but they keep resorting to throwing the ball instead of trying to just pound it with King Daru, who was having a decent game. And Marty, do you think that kind of hurts Purdue? You think they shot themselves in the foot with some poor clock management there?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the discussion. You look at that end drive there, and if you're Jeff Brom, I think you need to be running the ball, get Penn State to use their timeouts. I mean, albeit on Penn State's final drive, they're so efficient that the timeouts probably wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, it was, and it goes back to last year. We came into this game talking about Penn State's rushing attack and how it needed to improve, but Purdue ran the ball worse than Penn State last year. And we saw that tonight. Was Penn State's rushing attack great? No. Was it where we wanted to be? No. But you mentioned the freshman running backs. You can see it there with Penn State. You can see with Nick Singleton. His first collegiate carry, Singleton was one broken tackle away from going 97 yards for a touchdown. You can see where Penn State's running attack is going to get better as the year goes on. If you're Purdue, I think that's a major concern, especially as a Purdue team who, you probably view yourselves as legitimate contenders in the Big Ten West this season after this loss, even after this loss tonight. But yeah, I've always said with Jeff Brom, I think he's a tremendous play caller. I've never thought he's a great head coach. And I think we saw that sometime with his play management, with his clock management. Yeah, I think if you're a Purdue fan, you have every right in the world to be frustrated with Brom and his clock management tonight.
And on the other hand, what did you think, Marty, of Penn State really trying to force a run game to go? Do you think they did enough? Do you think they should have done a little bit less? Do you think it was just the right amount of mix of run pass?
I really didn't have an issue with it, especially early in the game when Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, the true freshman, running the ball well. And we have seen this a lot, I feel, from James Franklin over the years, where he has an opponent early in the season where he knows he's more talented and kind of tries to force some things to happen play calling wise and has to scramble late in the game to survive with the victory. I do think Penn State's offensive line, for the most part, played okay tonight, especially considered how they have been in the past. There was a run by Kevon Lee, I think in the third or second quarter, where, and this is no knock on Kevon Lee, because again, we've said 100 times, he scored the game-winning touchdown tonight. We're not going to knock Kevon Lee. Without Kevon Lee catching that wheel route, Penn State does not win this game. But on that run, the line opened up a huge hole, and Lee didn't have the burst to hit it. If Nick Singleton, if Katron Allen is in the game, I think Penn State probably converts that in a first down. I will be curious to see moving forward, though. tonight we saw a lot of Singleton, we saw a lot of Allen, but late in the game when things got tight, when it was crunch time, we saw Kevon Lee on the field. So how long does that last for? I will say with Nick Singleton also that I thought he did really well tonight in pass protection. There was a pass route, I think on Penn State's like second or third drive of the game, where Singleton was kind of on an island protecting Clifford's backside on a blitzing linebacker. Did a great job picking up and allowed Cliff to hit the throw with the first down. So yeah, Penn State's running game tonight was not what you want, but I think there were a lot of good signs there. There's a lot of reasons for potential hope moving forward, largely because you have a lot of talented running backs. And I know if you listen to the show, you might think Kevon Lee's terrible, but he's not. Like Kevon Lee averaged 5 yards per carry last year for Penn State. Made some big plays tonight, scored the game-winning touchdown. And when that is of your top 3 running backs, when that is the worst of your 3 options, like you've got some serious talent at the position. So I do think the running game will be okay moving forward. But it wasn't what you wanted to see tonight, but I still think you can consider this a step in the right direction for Penn State running the football.